Hello everyone and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 95 with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. How are you today? I hope you had a great week. It's Friday, so yay! And I hope you're looking forward to a wonderful weekend too. I have some fun cards for you today. We will be playing with the new Quiet Meadow bundle. I think these are so pretty. Hey Janelle, you can find these items, this bundle here on page 110 of your new annual catalog here. And so we've got kind of a wildflower look going on. That's why we have the whole meadow thing there. But what I really love are the meadow dies. Hey Rachel, hi Kim. Yes, absolutely love these. You can see all the different flowered images. There's a fun label, even a little tiny tag, little butterfly, all kinds of cute stuff. So I love these dies. Yes, Kim loves this set too. She's made some beautiful cards with it. Yeah, so I thought I would do that. We're gonna showcase the new in colors because I think it's nice to be able to see how all 5 of the new in colors. We've got quite a variety from the evening evergreen to polished pink and the pale papaya. Of course, a couple of my favorites are the fresh freesia and the soft succulent there. I love all of those. I've got kind of my wildflower. I've got more lilies going on here, but I thought, well, this is kind of like sprigs of wildflowers and daisies and all kinds of stuff. So I dressed the part this afternoon. Rachel says this bundle was first on her list as well. Great, so you guys are gonna love these cards. And then I saw an idea. It's actually something I pinned a few years ago, but sometimes the cards kind of stick in your mind. And so I thought, ooh, kind of a neat use for these Quiet Meadow dies that I hadn't seen anybody else do yet. So we're gonna pull out our blending brushes and some fun. We're gonna do like a sunset, a blended sunset. So I've got some bright colors there. I'm pulling in some, I thought I'd go with Mango Melody because that's like a good cross between yellow and orange. Pumpkin Pie, some Magenta Madness, though I could use the new polished pink. All right, so yes, we're gonna have fun with that. So let me go ahead, we'll flip the camera here. We'll go ahead and get started. All right, let's see, there we go. Okay, so you can kind of see my mess going on there. Oops, little die cut pieces. I've always got stuff going on. But here is my May host code. Can't believe how quickly we are flying through May. It is already the 14th. That's crazy. All right, so how was the lighting? Can you guys see everything okay? I was gonna see, I guess that's gonna have to kind of go with it there. Hey Jeanette, how are you? Yeah, so if you're just joining, we are playing today with the Quiet Meadow bundle from here on page 110 of the annual catalog, specifically the dies here. They are gorgeous. All right, so if you're on my team, then yes, this first card will look familiar because this is actually a project I created for our team Make and Take for our team meeting here this month. So this looks familiar, but the next one is totally new. But hopefully you guys liked this card. So we are starting out with our card base here of soft succulent. Oh, I'm zoomed in too much. Let me see if I can lift this. How is that? Does that look a little bit better? I lifted it up. Somehow things got angled a little bit differently. Yes, so we are starting with soft succulent, 5.5 by 8.5. Absolutely love these new in colors. Oh, good. Janelle said she loved the card. So, so hopefully you don't mind seeing it again. Yes, so we're using all 5 on the same card, which I thought was really neat. So the next thing we need is a piece of basic white. We're gonna do a neat little background, and you need a piece that is 3 by 5.5. And what I've done is take your basic white 3 by 5.5 piece, and then I love the painted texture embossing folder. This is from the mini catalog here, which is still going on. All right, it actually runs through June this time. So the mini catalog here, the fine art floral section was towards the beginning. I didn't mark the page because I marked it for something else. here we go, page 33. So the painted texture embossing folder here is number 5. It's $9. And actually this folder is carrying over. It's in the annual catalog too. So I love that. But it gives a really neat kind of, I want to say like a stucco look like that. So this is one of the 3D folders. It's a thick one. All right, can you see that a little bit better? Some of the texture. So then when you run it through your machine, you do get that neat kind of crinkled, like putty, spackle, you know, like all that cool stuff. So I thought that was really neat. We are going to layer that on a piece of evening evergreen. So we're pulling in our second color here. This is just 3/4 of an inch by 5.5. So everything is gonna go the full height of our card here. So what I'm gonna do is put my adhesive first on our basic white piece. Again, this was 3 by 5.5. Boy, that's a loud truck going by. All right, and then on this piece of evening evergreen, I'm just gonna take this and line it up. I want maybe 1/4 of an inch, a little more than 1/4 of an inch showing through. I do wanna make sure it's even. Okay, so that's what you've got on the back. So then go ahead and add your little bit of adhesive so that the evergreen will stick to your card base too. All right, so now this will go right down the center. You got 1/2 inch on each side here. All right, hi April, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. All right, so we've got 2 of our in colors here. This is where the Meadow dies really shine. So what I did is I die cut this really pretty floral, and I do need to identify what all of these flowers are. If you know, then go ahead and chime in. But I love this one with kind of the 6 petal flowers there. So I have die cut that with our polished pink. And then I took this longer sprig and I die cut that out of our fresh freesia. All right, so this is, you can see there are different heights on here. And then for the 5th color, I used this one and I die cut it from the pale papaya. So I love those colors. All right, so what I'm going to do is grab my mini dimensionals. I did not run these through with my adhesive sheets. You totally could, but really all you need is a little dimensional kind of on the back of these flowers. So I'm gonna flip them all, apply my dimensionals, and then I'm actually gonna put the fresh freesia down the middle first. Okay, so I've just got a handful there, and then you can see, we'll put one in the center. And I don't mind that my stems are loose because I've I'm gonna die cut this really pretty stitched label here. And that, when we put it on, that will help hold the stems together. Ooh, the fresh freesia reminds you of hollyhocks. Well, that could be a new one. You know, I wonder if is this some kind of like a poppy? Because it's got the leaves kind of like that. Maybe it's kind of a poppy. Where are gardeners at? I love flowers, and I think I do pretty well, but basically when it comes to gardening, I'm not much of a gardener. If I can plant it on the ground, in the ground, and let it do its thing, and it will grow back each year, then that's the kind of flowers I like. I'm good with those. If the bulbs need to be dug up in the fall, and if it needs to be replanted in the spring or stored in the, in the basement or the root cellar or something over the winter, yeah, I don't do real well with that. So at my house, the plants kind of have to fend for themselves. But I do love flowers. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Oh, Kim says most plants die on hers too. Oh, yes, the pale papaya, Wendy, does look kind of like cornflower. Oh, that's true. All right, that gives me some more cool ideas because in late summer here in August, we usually have a lot of wild like cornflowers that grow along the side of the ditches and things like that. And they are really pretty. They're kind of a pale blue color. So yeah, that would be fun. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I was so drawn to this set, especially the dies here. So pretty. All right, so we've got our flowers arranged, and you could put them closer together or however that works for you. All right, I thought I'd pull in, I'm gonna tease a little bit and pull in the bumblebee trinkets that we were able to pre-order one package on our demonstrator order, so the demonstrators didn't all hog all the bumblebees. Because in the US market, these are currently unavailable, hoping to be back in stock later this month or early June. But they're so cute, and so I'm going to use this one because I think amongst the wildflowers, we definitely need a bumblebee flying around up there somewhere. And for that, we just need a little glue dot. All right, so I do love these. But you can get the ladybugs from the mini catalog that went with the dragonfly suite, and those are carrying over. So you could get a similar effect with that if you are can't wait to get the bumblebees. All right, so that's what we've got to get started. Now, like I said, I did die cut this label here from Basic White. Isn't that pretty? I love the little scallop detail on the ends, and of course the stitching up the center. I love anything that's stitched here. All right, so let's pull in the stamp set now. That's part of the bundle. It has some nice sentiments. Just really every day, thinking of you, you're too kind, heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you, and just love. Perfect for any card. So I'm going to use the Thinking of You. This is a red rubber stamp, and this is got the cling stickers there. So let me pull in my block here. All right, so we did manage, we've got all 5 colors of paper on here, and now we need some ink. So what did I do with my evening evergreen? I thought I'd pull in the little stripe that we've got there. Yes, aren't the sentiments great, Kim? Love those. Okay, so we got just a Thinking of You. My new ink pad is super juicy, so go easy on that. We're just gonna lightly tap it on here. All right, beautiful. Nope, yes, I was gonna say, am I still in view? Okay, so we've got that. Let me just briefly clean this so I don't stick my arm in it, especially where I'm brave enough to wear white sleeves on this top. White and stamping don't usually mix too well, so. Okay, so the next thing I've got to show you to go with our little label here, because that's cute, but I want to fancy it up a little bit. So I've pulled in the Simply Elegant Trim Pack, and with this you get the silver and the gold cording. And so I've cut 2 3-inch pieces here. And actually, I should have done this before I glued everything to the base. But what I'm doing with these 3-inch pieces of cording, hey Diana, hey Margaret, thank you guys so much for watching. So I'm folding my 3-inch piece of cording in half. So I have the loop at the bottom and the ends there at the top. We are going to poke up from the back of the tag, poke your loose ends through that middle loop, then take your looped cord over the top, pull your ends through, okay, and then we get a neat little, kind of like a little belt there on our tag. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. So fold that in half and then take your loose ends and poke it up through the center. And 3 inches seem to be just about right, depending on depending on how your fingers work there. Sometimes with we need a little bit longer just so we've got a bigger loop here, but the 3-inch seemed to work for me, and that way I don't really have too much waste there. Okay, so we've got that. I'm gonna flip this over bring in my full-size dimensionals here. And we're gonna put these along the back. Oh, let's go ahead. Let's put a third in the middle, just because we can. All right, so pull those off. All right, so like I said, we didn't have to worry about the fact that our stems are loose here because the dimensionals on our label here will hold everything nicely in place. Goodness, we got all kinds of trucks going up and down our road making all kinds of noise today. All right, so you could leave it like that. Of course, this end's kind of bug me sticking out like that. And with this, it is a cord. It's not ribbon. They just call it trim. So it is more of a cording, which means it kind of has a mind of its own. It's not super, like it would unravel if you just left it. So what I should have done before I glued this down, I'm gonna gently peel up the back here and tuck those ends to the back side. I'm gonna stick them down in there, okay? And then press it good. All right, let's gently do the same thing over here. I'm actually gonna go, right behind my basic white. So gently pull this up. We don't wanna tear it. All right, and then tuck those ends. Just see, they got a mind of their own. So you gotta tell them to get in there and stay put. Okay. All right, so that actually behaved pretty well. And now you see we've got this nice little gold finished detail here on our label. And that ties in our little bumblebee up there, and we managed to work in all 5 in colors. So I thought that was fun. And yes, if you're on my team, then I realize you have seen this card, but so far I've gotten pretty good feedback and I think everybody's enjoyed it. So I hope you do too. All right, so now I have one that is new for all of us. And like many of you, I spent a lot of time on Pinterest. And so this card that I'm going to make was inspired by something I saw on Pinterest actually a few years ago. I've been pinning for a long time, so my boards go back a ways. And it was funny, I'd actually saved it, took a screenshot, I saved it to my phone, and I was scrolling through my pictures on my phone looking for something else the other day, and I ran across this card and I thought, oh my goodness, it would be so perfect if I did kind of recreated my variation of it with the Quiet Meadow dies. So for this one, we're going a totally different color scheme. I've actually got smoky slate. So we're going with a grayish background here. Again, 5.5 by 8.5. Hey Susan, welcome. Aw, thank you, Wendy. I'm glad you liked it. Yes, so we've got smoky slate here. And then I'm pulling in some basic black. I have a layer. See, we're going totally different direction here. Smoky slate, basic black. This is 4 by 5.25. And before we glue this down, this is a tip for you to maximize your paper, because this basic black layer is going to be sandwiched in here amongst some Designer Series paper. This is the True Love Designer Series paper. Hey, Gladdy. So this paper is in, again, the mini catalog. So I'm pulling in some mini catalog items today, right here along the bottom on page 11. All right, this paper is not carrying over. All right, so if you love this, the classic black and white, then make sure you grab that. So it's available now, and the catalog does run into June, but once June hits, things are while supplies last. All right, so I'm using this black and white striped design here, and I'm gonna sandwich that black in between. Before we glue everything down, I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine platform here. Do you think I need some new plates? They are well loved. Check out this one. Woohoo, look at, I've even got cracks and everything. I'm almost like proud of the fact that like I've gotten this much use out of it. All right, so we're putting my basic black on here. Because it's gonna be sandwiched in the middle, nobody's gonna see it. So let's do some die cutting out of the middle. We're gonna do kind of create a fun silhouette with these dies. And yeah, I don't want them, and we still want to make sure that our edges, we're far enough away from the edges that, you know, that nobody knows that we did this to the middle. All right, so I think that looks good. All right, so once we've got that, again, sandwich those in there. We're gonna run them through. So yes, we are making black flowers. It's not just black flowers, it's a silhouette. So here we go. I'll grab these out. Okay. And if you've got your little die cut brush here, just go ahead and, oh, there we go. And they loosen them up. Okay. Let me grab my little paper poker. And this one's got that fine detail in it, so it needs just a little bit of help. There we go. Okay. All right, and then pop out those little doodads from the center. All right, so there's the first one. And then the second one here. Oh, see, that one's already jumping out all by itself. Okay, again, pop out those little intricate pieces. All right, so we'll set the black flowers here aside. We can go ahead and glue down our layers thus far. So our basic black, again, this is 4 by 5 1/4. And when we die cut, we made sure to stay away from the outside edge. All right, so this one's going to go right here on the front of our smoky slate. Okay, get that little bit of glue. Then we'll take our basic black stripes. Now you could use the flower, you could use the daisies here if you wanted to, which might be kind of cool, but I think I'm gonna go for the striped effect today. More of a bold statement. All right, so we put those on there. Nobody is any the wiser that you die cut your flowers out of that center black layer. Okay, so we've got that so far. Now we're gonna go a 1/2 inch smaller so that we can still see that striped background around the edges. So I'm going 1/2 inch. So let me start. Our folded card base here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That makes the basic black layer 4 by 5 1/4. The stripes are 3 3/4 by 5. And then jumping a 1/2 inch smaller, we are going to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, so that's all the measurements that you need for this card. Before I glue this down, I'm going to bring in my little scrap mat, just a piece of cardboard that comes in some of the kits and the backings and things like that. So what I've done, I've pulled in my layering circles dies, and this particular die is about 2 3/4. So if you had, you had a 2 3/4 inch circle punch. I don't know if they made them that big. You could use that. These are the layering circles. So this is, let's see, largest, second largest. This is the 3rd largest, okay, that I used for this. And I took an extra piece of basic white, the same size, die cut my circle out of the middle. I'm going to overlap this right on top. All right, you don't necessarily need one that's exactly the same size, but you do need something. You could use a Post-it note and die cut your circle from that. But what we're gonna do now is create our sunset background here. Let me move this so I don't get any ink on that. All right, clear my space. Whew. Get ready for the good stuff here. So I'm going to start with my Mango Melody. All right, starting with my lightest color first, although we're going pretty bright with this. So I've got my blending brush here. Let me just make sure. Yep, just wipe it off. I've got no extra colors on it. So we're gonna just gently pick up some color here. Just circular motion on your ink pad. Make sure you've got this the way you want it. All right, and then we're gonna just come in and blend over the top. All right, so you can see why I put the extra layer on here to protect my background. All right, so I had a lot of Mango Melody on there. Again, just kind of blending that through. All right, and then go ahead and circle it off on your scratch paper there, your sheet there. Now we're going to come in. Our next color is Pumpkin Pie. All right, so we're gonna kind of gradually, and I'm gonna use the same brush. Go ahead, make sure you've, wiped the color off, and you can even run these in the sink to wipe the color out. Just make sure you dry before using them again. All right, so hold everything in place. Okay, and then we're gonna start kind of coming again in a circular motion right across the middle there. And that's the cool thing with the blending brushes here, is that you get that nice soft look. Whereas if you used, as much as I love the sponge daubers, with those, sometimes it's easy to get that dot from the dauber, or or a little too much ink where you didn't necessarily want it there. So the blending brushes do give you a much softer gradation there. Okay, so the next color, so that was Mango Melody and Pumpkin Pie, and now we're gonna come in with some Magenta Madness. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the magenta. It is a bit darker than the polished pink. It's got a little more red to it, so I think that'll be good. So pick up that color there. All right, and then just come in, and we'll do pink up the background, kind of up the bottom here, and really work that in. All right, we get that fun sunset look on there. So pretty. All right, so again, wipe off, and if you want, you can go ahead and clean this in the sink, and then but really it doesn't matter which color you use next. So that'll be good to go. All right, so now you've got your stencil here, and then when we pick it up, how cool is that background? Isn't that amazing? All right, so we'll get our scrap pieces out of the way. Now we can go ahead and adhere this to our card base. All right, so we've got this fun black and white with a pop of color shining through here. All right, so let's go ahead. We will do our, isn't that gonna be cool? I might have to snip the edges off just a little bit, but yeah, let's come in here and let me see. I had some of the basic black mini dimensionals. That'll work perfectly. I love that we have the dimensionals now in both black and white, because when you're working with dark cardstock like this, you don't really want a white dimensional popping through, in case it shows. So again, let's stick down each of these kind of larger flowers and do the same thing. Let me flip it, because on the front side you can almost see it does like a little embossed center. Okay, so come in here. Yeah, Kim, isn't this cool? Such a fun technique. Oh, Janelle, I'm glad you enjoyed it too. Yeah, and the blending brushes, if anybody had tried to order them before, I know they were running, we had low inventory for a while. They are back in stock, so you should be good to go. All right, I did put one, I'm not putting any label on this, so I did go ahead and put a dimensional kind of at the base of the stem here. So let's do our tall flower. or as Janelle said, maybe our hollyhocks here. All right, that sounded good to me. So let's do those first. We'll kind of come up. Let's just go right up the side here. All right. And if it bugs you, you can always trim the bottom off just a little bit. Oh, see, just like that. All right, so let's come in. I love that they're different, the flowers are different heights, because then it does make for a nice grouping like that. All right, so how cool is that when it comes right across the center here? I'm gonna put these just a little closer together. There we go. And I'm gonna angle this one. Oh, I think that's really cool. And again, let's just pop, just snip that. All right, so I think that looks pretty cool. Let's pull in, oh, how about we do this? This heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. I did not intend to make this a sympathy card, but I actually think that would be a really nice one. That greeting is really nice. All right, so this is a pretty brand new set. I hadn't really used too much of this, so we'll pop out the label here for the sentiment I wanted to use. Peel the back off this. Okay, stick it down. Now it's good to use. All right, grab my block. My blocks need to be cleaned. You can tell they've all got like a little pink tint to them. Just need to, you can use dish soap, or you can even just take a Clorox wipe or something and wipe them down. All right, and I'm using my Tuxedo Black Memento ink here. Oh, Janelle, you're making me laugh. She says the hollyhocks, they were outside everyone's outhouse. Actually, my grandmother, I don't recall anybody outhouse, because by the time I was growing up, the outhouse that went with the old farmhouse got moved to the woods, and that became our camping outhouse. And so Grandma and Grandpa had hollyhocks outside growing alongside their garage. So that's where I remember the hollyhocks being. Oh, it's crooked. Ugh. Well, at this point, it is what it is. With all the stripes and angles here, I'm gonna just go like this, and then you'll pretend it's straight for now. Oh dear. Yes. So what do you guys think? You know, I didn't think to grab my the little black dots. If you wanted to embellish it, I would definitely, you could use the matte black dots here. These are also on page 11 of the mini catalog that go with the True Love paper there. The matte black dots, they are also carrying over. So you could do that. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I could put a couple dots on here, but really, I think I really just love that blended background here with the silhouette of the flowers. All right, yes, so if I hold it, I'm trying to say which way I need to hold it on camera so that it looks straight to all of you. That is the downfall of stamping after you've assembled your card, as if it's crooked. I mean, I could go in there with a tag or something or punch over it, but no, I think I'm just gonna go with it. I think it's all right. And then we have the other one. So two very different uses for our Quiet Meadow bundle here, the Quiet Meadow stamp set, and the Meadow dies here. Love these, love the variety of flowers and dies. This is definitely a bit of a puzzle as far as arranging them back on your die sheet, but you get so many different ones here. And I really like the results. I'm really happy with these. I think they came out really nice. And again, we used our blending brush on there. Hey, Pam, thank you so much. Yes, so we used Mango Melody, Pumpkin Pie, Magenta Madness there for our background. I really like the way those colors came together. I will put a full supply list here in the video details once I get this uploaded, so those will be there for your reference. And again, if you need anything, my May host code here is JSXHCEMY. Don't forget that we do have an amazing host and a join special going on at Stampin' Up! This month. As far as the host, you can host your own party by placing your own workshop. No party required except for the happy dance when your box arrives. And that is if you place or have combined orders of $250, you get a bonus $25 of Stampin' Rewards for a total of $50 of free product with a $250 order or orders combined. And as far as the join special, anyone who joins my Creative Cardiology team this month can choose an extra $30 of product in their starter kit. The starter kit is fully customizable. You pay $99 plus tax. You get free shipping, and you choose $155 of whatever you want. You could choose up to $155. You want to get as close as you can without going over. All right, so the easiest thing to do if you're thinking about joining is to work out your wish list and get it as close to that $155 as you possibly can. And then I do have the link to join in the details of the video here as well. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about that. Would love to have you join our Creative Cardiology team. I think we're a fun bunch. We've got several team members on here watching, and they give you a very warm welcome. And yes, and currently we are 4 subscribers away from the 2,000 subscriber mark on my YouTube channel. So if you are watching this on YouTube, or if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel yet, please make sure you check that out, subscribe, like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to stamping with you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.